Tavern's YouTube page. Today, we are talking about 2021, and is this the year of Omega? Before we get into that, make sure you guys click on the link in the description below, subscribe to the YouTube page, follow the link to our podcast page, subscribe, rate, and review there, follow it to our Pro Wrestling Tees store, also follow it to our Twitter and our Instagram. Click the bell up in the corner, make sure you guys turn on notifications so you know when we have more videos on YouTube. But let's get into the topic at hand. Kenny Omega, is this his year coming up?
I think so. And yeah, especially after hearing this interview with the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks did an interview on screencrush.com,
Okay.
and they touched on a bunch of different topics. But in the interview, a question was floated where they asked, looking ahead, who are one or two people you think fans should keep an eye on who could have a breakout year on Dynamite? And Nick Jackson responded, I think year 2 is going to be all about Kenny Omega. He's been very, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess unselfish, and he's ready to explode. So I would keep my eye on him. Now, if this was just any wrestler on the roster giving their best guess, that's one thing.
Right.
But when it's coming from the Bucks, who don't do a lot of interviews, one.
Yeah.
But when it's coming from the Bucks, who we all know are close personal friends with Kenny Omega, that's number one.
Yep.
Number two, we know they are executive vice presidents in AEW, and they are part of the small collective that booked the stories with Tony Khan and Cody and Kenny, and Jericho plays around in that group a little bit.
Yep.
So I don't think this is just an opinion.
Yeah, I think it's more of a preview.
I think this is like a preview of what we're about to see.
Yeah.
And now if we look at the landscape of AEW right now, what do we have with Kenny Omega?
The tournament.
We have the tournament build. We've had this slow burn of him breaking away from the tag team scene.
Yep.
We've got a slow change in attitude with Kenny. I think we are gearing up for what everyone who knew Kenny Omega pre-AEW has been wanting. They want the bout machine.
Yeah.
They want the Terminator. They want the cleaner. They want the guy who ran through the G1 tournament. They want that New Japan killer that everyone has kind of like, man, they're booking him wrong in AEW. They're booking him wrong. I think this was all part of the plan.
Yeah.
I think it's been all part of the plan to push younger guys, the Darbys, the MJFs, the Orange Cassidys, to push them under two of their more mainstream American stars, Jericho and Moxley, give them their shine, to allow fans to grasp onto someone they're more familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And now all the hardcores are just chomping at the bit for Kenny, because he, in the eyes of hardcores or fans of New Japan, Kenny is right there with the Jerichos and Moxleys.
Right.
Kind of the casual fans may not know how important Kenny is. So I think they knew going into AEW, let's put him on the back burner because we have that in our pocket when we need it. And I think they're about to pull the trigger on it.
Yeah. The V trigger?
The V trigger.
Yep.
So what do you think?
No, I agree. I think, for anybody that thinks that Kenny's going to come into AEW and just have a lackluster career there. He had the tag titles, but really what else has he done? He's always been known as a singles competitor. You think they're going to bring him in, just put him in a tag program, and then that's it for him? No, he's going to come in. This is going to be the rise of Kenny.
He's a main eventer.
Yeah.
They're not just going to let him chill in the mid card.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of people, complain that, Kenny doesn't have it anymore. He doesn't have it. He's come to AEW. They've kind of watered him down. That's not the way it is. He's an EVP. He's best friends with he helped start the company.
And I think it shows a
Let's be
lot on
real.
Kenny. Yeah, it shows a lot on Kenny, like that he is willing. It shows a lack of ego. Like he's
Yeah.
willing to step back and let other guys have the shine for a year,
Yeah.
knowing that it's going to come. But you know what this is all a symptom of? And we've discussed this on the podcast before. This is a symptom of the modern day wrestling fan wanting everything now, 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 now.
Yeah. Nobody wants to wait and let things unfold. Nobody wants the long game anymore. They want that instant gratification and they
It's
want to move on.
it's
If
that
you want
social,
that,
yeah. It's that
yeah,
social media generation, uh, the attention span, lack of attention span viewing. You know, I want it now. I don't want to wait for it.
and if
Good
that's
things
what you
come.
want, there are companies out there that will give that to you.
Yeah.
And be a fan of that. That's if that's what you want. That's not what I want though.
No.
I want to I want to invest and I want to watch a story unfold. I want to see that story come to light. I want to see what direction they take it. When I can sit and think of 5 different ways a story can go, that's perfect.
Yep. I think back to what I said after All Out, because we watched All Out and we were all anticipating Kenny's going to turn it all out. He's going to
Right.
go full cleaner and turn on Page. And again, they didn't give us the full turn. They teased it just a little
Mhm.
bit again,
Yep.
and everyone was kind of let down, me included. But as I sit in it, I was like, when it finally happens, I'll be glad that it didn't happen tonight. That's what
Right.
people, I think, having that mindset of just because something you want doesn't happen now, as long as they don't kill the story, as long as that story's continuing, I'm fine.
Right.
I only get upset when they pull the story out from under you and go away from it. But as long as that story's continuing, you can pull me along. You can
Yep.
drag me along. I'm there as long as you're continuing the story in a good way.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. And I think watching this unfold and watching, the slow build and the slow burn of what's going on, I'm about it and I'm ready to see what's going to happen with him.
Now with this tournament, do they've got the number one contendership tournament on the left side right now. Kenny is on the left side with they've got 4 men on one side, 4 men on the other. Kenny's on the left side and Hangman's on the right side.
Right.
Now, all the fans, we're all thinking this is leading to Kenny versus Hangman at Full Gear on November 7th for the number one contendership. Do you think that all of us fans expecting that to be the foregone conclusion for the final of that tournament, do you think it being so predictable takes anything away from it?
I don't, because I honestly, I mean, we all think that that's what's going to happen, but they've shown us many times before that that doesn't always happen.
Yeah,
So,
and I think I think sometimes predictability isn't a bad thing in wrestling.
yeah,
I think sometimes what you expect it to happen, it's because it's what everyone wants to happen. And when it happens, the payoff is going to be worth it. It's not about it's about the journey to get there. And you want to talk about heat. If that isn't the final, saying it's predictable, if that's not the final matchup, Hangman versus Omega, people are going to be pissed.
yeah. The only thing, like, I'm going to be happy if that's, I mean, if that's the way it is. The only other thing that I can think is that Kenny takes a loss early and then comes in. And so Paige is in the final and Kenny comes in to support him and then just comes in and just wrecks him and turns full heel.
Yeah, you could go that route too.
And then they have a match after the tournament.
My only question, it would have to be like Penta, because it's Penta, Phoenix, Omega, and Janela on the left side.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that that's something that
Yeah.
could, I mean,
Yeah.
to throw you off. So I don't know. But yeah, so what do you guys think is going to happen with Kenny? Do you think that it's his year or do you think that he's washed up? I know what the right answer is, but I want to hear what you guys think. Yeah, leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll be back at you with more videos soon.